General Hospital GH. Recap for Monday, March 31, reveals that Rick Lansing, Rick Hurst, needed emergency surgery while Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, hid her guilt from Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vagenos. Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, was also stripped of the Quartermaine name, so here's how Monday's episode played out. At the crash site, Christina watched in shock as Rick was removed from the vehicle with a visible head wound. When Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, arrived, Christina kept rambling about how it was supposed to be Ava Jerome's Mora West brake lines that she cut. Lucky realized Christina could be in trouble, so he sent her back to Charlie's pub with the story that she'd been in the stockroom doing inventory all evening. Once Christina took off, Lucky realized Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, had been removed from the car's passenger side. Lucky freaked out, but an officer prevented him from getting too close. At the hospital, Isaiah Gannon, Sawandi Wilson, also pushed Lucky to stay back and let the doctors do their thing. However, Liz thankfully didn't have any major injuries other than a broken leg that would require surgery. Lucky sat by a still unconscious Elizabeth's bedside, where he confessed that he loved her from the first day he met her and would love her forever. When Liz finally regained consciousness, Lucky was glad to see her looking back at him. In Drew's office, he gave Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, updates on Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, moving in his place along with her children. Although Drew thought this would be great for Scout Quartermaine, Cosette Abinant, Alexis wasn't as convinced and thought Scout needed stability. Drew made it clear that he only told Alexis as a courtesy, so Willow and the kids were moving in whether she approved or not. Once Christina made it back to Charlie's pub, she gave Molly the bogus inventory story and tried to play it cool despite what she knew. Molly, Christina, Cody Bell, Josh Kelly, and Max Scorpio, John J. York, were all hanging out when someone from the hospital contacted Molly about Rick's accident. At GH, Christina called Alexis, who raced over to support Molly following the car crash news. Ava showed up as well, but Alexis pushed her to leave since her presence was upsetting Molly and Christina. Lucas Jones, Van Hansis, worked on Rick, who had severe head trauma along with internal bleeding. It was mentioned that Rick would need emergency surgery and a blood transfusion. Later, Lucas sat Molly down to fill her in on Rick's condition and treatment. Molly wondered if her dad would make it, so Lucas let her know they were doing everything they could to help him. Outside the Quartermaine crypt, Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, arrested Emma Scorpio Drake, Braden Brunner, and hauled her down to the station. Yuri and Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, were also nearly arrested as Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ali, recorded everything on her phone. However, Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, eventually showed up with cease and desist order. Monica Quartermaine, Leslie Charleson, struck a deal with the Port Charles Land Trust to make this happen, so Ezra Boyle, Daniel Cosgrove, had no choice but to stand down. In Anna's office, Emma explained her motives for standing up for the Quartermaines and softened her grandmother's stance. Tracy and Giovanni Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza, arrived hoping to get Emma released, but Mac delivered her file to Anna and changed everything. Since Emma had some prior arrests that Anna didn't know about, Anna insisted her granddaughter would be headed to a jail cell. At Saliski's, Jeff Wolf, place, he tried to escape during his face-off with Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, and Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard. Jason got into a struggle with Saliski, who ended up deceased on the floor. Sonny suggested they could have Brick, Stephen A. Smith, check all Salisk's devices for the name of the person who hired the hit. Although Jason wasn't happy about Sonny continuing to delay his surgery, Sonny wanted to give Brick some time to look into things first. Back with Drew, he was furious when Ezra let him know the crypt demolition didn't happen. Drew also learned he'd have to quit using the Quartermaine name and go by Drew Kane instead. Although Drew wanted to know how Tracy pulled this off, Ezra clarified that this was Monica's doing. General Hospital spoilers say Drew will continue to make enemies and vengeful predictions, so stay tuned for more excitement. CDL's where you want to be for scorching General Hospital spoilers, updates, and news, so make us your top GA source. It was an action-packed Monday on General Hospital with intense moments and shocking revelations that left the residents of Port Charles reeling. From Rick Lansing's Rick Hurst life-threatening accident to Drew Cameron Matheson, being stripped of the prestigious Quartermaine name.